So on page, actually I'm going to take you to 153. So what you're looking at right now is a worksheet. So the thing I handed out to you is called a worksheet. And on 153 there's the definition of worksheet. Do you see it? The second word, a columnar. I think it's a dumb word. A columnar accounting form used to summarize the general ledger information needed to prepare financial statements. So I think the word columnar is really dumb, so I'll probably say worksheet is a sheet with a lot of columns, because I think columnar is a dumb word. It reminds me of Columbo, which doesn't make any sense to this. So this form is what we do first to make financial statements. What are financial statements? Well, financial statements are what we do. You know, we've done all this stuff so far. We've recorded transactions, we've posted them, and no one cares, right? What do they care about? The financial statements. So at the end of a fiscal period, and I think we've talked about that a little bit, a fiscal period, a period of time for which financial statements are recorded. In the beginning of a business, you might do financial statements every month. Can you imagine, Mr. or Miss Accountant? Not that much fun. That's all you'd be doing. You'd be crazy and nuts. But owners want to know net income. Are we making money? If we're not making money, what's happening and how can we change this? Okay? I need to figure out how I can make money, because isn't that the bottom line in your business? It is. So we're going to take a look at a worksheet. This is a worksheet. And this is the first step in preparing preparing to prepare financial statements. Okay? I'm going to see. Maybe that will work. Here we go. We're not going to make a worksheet right now. You're just going to take some notes on it. Take a look at it. Agreed, it has a lot of columns. Right? It's got a lot of columns. Look, account title, trial balance, adjustments, income statement, balance sheet. Well, those words, income statement and balance sheet, may look familiar to you. Remember when we made a chart of accounts and I said it's weird that they want you to put the accounts listed under income statement and balance sheet because you don't know what that means yet. So we will prepare for our financial statements, and these are the two financial statements that we're going to be creating in our service business, okay? So this is a worksheet. It looks horrible. It's not terrible. But we do a worksheet for 4 reasons, and that's what I want you to take notes on here, okay? 4 reasons. This is called a worksheet. 4 reasons we do a worksheet. Number 1 is to prove the equality, and there are 4, so if you're trying to make space. Prove the equality of debits and credits in the ledger. What does that mean? This is what we would do. So the reinforcement activity you just finished, cash has a value of $13,683 if I remember correctly. Okay? All of the accounts here, I would write down in the account title, and I would write down their balance. And guess what? They've got to equal. Well, that seems weird. We're always in balance. That's what we do, right? Because that's how we roll. Everything has to be in balance. So number 1, we need to prove the equality of debits and credits in the ledger. So that's what it is. We open our ledger from that reinforcement activity. This will be the first thing we do in the second part. We'll make a worksheet. We write down cash. It has a debit balance of $13,683. Petty cash, $250. Supplies, whatever. We write them all down, and they've got to equal when we add them up. That's weird, but they do, and they will. Because remember, everything we did, everything we posted was a debit and a credit, a debit and a credit. So those accounts, when we list them all, they're going to equal. And if they don't, on the back of this form, I hope, did I copy the back? Is there something? Okay, we'll have some tricks to figure out how we can fix this and how we can find it. That's number one. Number two, we need to make some adjustments. We'll make adjustments for supplies and prepaid insurance for the fiscal period, a period of time for which financial statements are made. I do this very, very important lesson if I don't have my stapler. And we've talked about this a couple times. Okay? So we buy supplies, right? And we debit supplies. Now, here's me. I used a staple. What did that cost? I don't know. Maybe 1/100th of a penny. Okay? There's another one. I should go credit supplies, right? Again, we talked about this. I will drive myself absolutely crazy if every time I use a staple or a piece of tape that I'm going to credit supplies. But it's not accurate because I've used some of the supplies. Yep, agreed. But unless I want to be crazy, which I'm halfway there, I only will do this once a fiscal period. I will make some adjustments. I'll make some adjustments for supplies and prepaid insurance. Do you remember when we bought prepaid insurance? I said, no, this is an asset. Every day it gets a little bit less. Because if I pay $300 a month for insurance, I could say that's roughly $10 a day. Agreed? Okay? So if I cancel my insurance after the third day, I would get $270 back. Right? Because I use insurance every day. A little bit would be prorated every day. Now, am I going to go and credit insurance every single day? No. Again, I will be crazy in the head. So I will do it once per fiscal period in the adjustments column. All right? And guess what that becomes then? An expense to my business. We saw supplies expense and insurance expense, and you're like, yo, where did these random things come from? We're going to need them now. Because this staple has become an expense to my business, right? I can't reuse it. I suppose I could if I stabbed one of you in the arm, but that wouldn't be very nice. So this is becoming an expense to my business. Supplies that are used up and gone when I throw markers away because they don't work anymore, when I get frustrated with my pen because it's too fat, I throw it away. That's an expense to my business. But it's not an expense when I first buy it because I could sell it to you. This is a very nice stapler. I could sell it to you. It's still an asset. Okay? So that's the second thing I do. Number three, the third reason I do a worksheet is to prepare for formal financial statements. Third reason I do a worksheet is to prepare for formal financial statements. Guess what? Nobody in the whole wide world is going to look at your worksheet except you. Worksheets even are done in pencil in the real world. We do everything in pencil. But in the real world, worksheets are done in pencil. So nobody's going to see this. But what it does do, it helps us prepare for our formal financial statements that other people will see. And I am sure I'd be willing to bet a day's wage that none of you have ever looked in the newspaper and noticed a bank's financial statement where they say Community Bank of Cameron's balance sheet, and it lists their assets, their liabilities, and their owner's equity. Why would you look at it? You don't understand what it means. But public companies do have to post their financial statements. Okay? If you want to buy stock in them, you would look up their financial statements. Okay? Income statement, balance sheet. That's what people are interested in seeing, not this other stuff that we do to help us get there. Number 4, probably the biggest one, is to determine net income or net loss. That's the 4th reason we do a worksheet. Determine if we have a net income or a net loss, because, oh, by the way, that's what your owner, manager, boss, CFO, CEO, whoever, that's what the bottom line is. Are we making money? If not, Mr. or Ms. Accountant, what can I do to get there? Okay? And that's where the interpreting and how analyzing part of accountantship comes in. Real accountants aren't recording transactions like we've been doing. Bookkeepers do that. Accountants do more of the, let's look at these financial statements. Your advertising expense is $1 million. Okay, can we adjust that? Well, I really do want that Super Bowl ad. Okay, then your advertising expense is going to skyrocket, right? So, that's the 4 reasons we do a worksheet. In other words, this beast right here. All right? First thing we do is what's called a heading. And every financial statement from here on out has a heading. It contains 3 things. I'd like you to write that up here too. Who, what, and when. Okay? Who is the name of the company? What? This is a worksheet. So the name of the statement. And when, what kind of time frame? What time frame did this stuff happen? Was this a month? Was this a year? Because boy, it makes a difference, doesn't it? Did I make this net income in a month? Or did I make this net income in a year? Because it matters. So those will be the 3 things in our heading of every financial statement that we do. Who, what, when. We try to center it, we try to make it look nice, and it's wonderful. All right? So let's hit it. That's kind of our intro for chapter 6. Did anybody not get those? All good? Workbook, please. 121. Workbook, I got 150 something.
155.
Thank you. And, oh, by the way, this is the chapter we get to use the very cool transparency thing. And if you have not yet purchased a red pen and or ruler, or have figured out a way that you're going to do those things, this is the chapter now. You need those, and you need your own, and 99 chance out of 100 don't have one. Don't rely on me. So get your red pen, get your ruler here in the next couple days if you would. Okay? 155. Use the worksheet given in your working papers on February 28th of the current year. Golden Tan has the following general ledger accounts and balances. The business uses a monthly fiscal period. So in other words, we're doing this worksheet for the month of February. Okay? So that's what that information means. Now it says, prepare the heading and trial balance on a worksheet. Total and rule the trial balance columns. Save your work to complete work together, 6-2. So, real world, people. We would get this out of our general ledger, not in an accounting workbook, but what you just finished in that reinforcement activity, that's real world. That's where we would get that information. We're looking at our book right here. Okay? So, oh good, we've got a good page too, because when it's on the fold, it's not that nice. We are going to write down all of those accounts in the account title column of this worksheet. We're going to write whether they have a debit or a credit balance. We're going to write accounts that don't have balances at all right now as well. Okay? So let's do the heading first. Okay? Look. Everybody found the page in the workbook? Our heading. Who, what, when. So who is this? What's the name of the company?
Golden Tan.
Golden Tan. Thank you very much. If I were turn on. What is this? This is a worksheet. So on the second line, you would write worksheet. And on the third line, that's when. Because it told us it is February 28th, and because it's telling us that it's doing financial statements once a month, we're going to put 4-month ended. February 28th, 2017. So Golden Tan worksheet, 4-month ended.
Like the number 4 or
No, FOR, 4-month ended. So you're saying this statement is covering the entire month of February. If I were a remote, I would be sitting on the ledge of the whiteboard. Okay? And all those things would be centered as best you can. For those of you who have sometimes a hard time reading your writing, it's going to be mission critical. These boxes are little. Okay? One of my little friends where it's like, ooh, is that a 2? Is that a 7? Is that a 5? Is that a 3? I don't know. So this is what it looks like. Golden Tan worksheet, 4-month ended. Why does it say 4-month ended? Because
the end of February?
what?
Is it the end of February?
It is the end of February, and this is kind of what happened all month long. I didn't do this in a day, okay? So I did this all month long. Please feverishly copying this side makes, 0 cents right now. So all that you're doing, and I think it would be easier to look in your book so you're not screwed up, is writing down the debit and credit balances of all of these general ledger accounts. This is the same as your book. So take a moment, if you will. Yeah, hand fall off. Shake it out now and then. Okay? All we're doing is writing down those account titles. Okay? Take a moment. I'm going